This is our friend Mick. He's very kind. He likes camping and four-wheel driving. This is our friend Kel. She is Mick's missus. She likes camping and four-wheel driving too. Mick says he likes Kel's two big assets. Kel also likes Mick's one big asset, his Ford Ranger. Kel's two big assets are her friendliness and sense of adventure. Today, Kel, Mick, Mick's daughter and her friend are going to go for a drive with Offroad rookies. They will try to find a camping spot but not get too distracted on the way. Keep your eyes on the road, Mick! Today's adventure will start in the little town of Heyfield. It is a town famous for chopping down trees, having drunken bar fights, and having fights over who chopped down whose tree while drunk. It is a funny little town. Mick will drive his asset up Springs Road to see if he can find a campsite that makes the girls happy. Let's see if Mick can find a good spot and not get distracted. Good luck, Mick! The first place that Mick will try for his camping spot is a hunter's hut. It looks icky. It only has 2 walls. Looks like it might fall over and has lots of phone numbers written by people who want you to call them for some reason. Is this going to be a good camping spot for Mick and Kel? No. Mick drives away slowly, but shortly after he sees a sign that mentions a cemetery, so he gets distracted and blames it on the Offroad Rookies team. The cemetery has pieces of paper telling you all the funny ways that people died in the olden days. Some died of things like consumption. Did they eat too much? Influenza. Sounds like a bad case of the man flu to me. There was even one man who had an explosion in his mouth that he did on his own. What a talented man. Everyone gets in their cars and Mick drives away slowly again. Would Mick find the right place to camp this time? Let's see. No. Mick has gotten distracted again, and this time he wants to look in a mine. You can't camp there, Mick. Mick shows everybody how to be reckless by walking through a lot of long grass on a hot summer day in Australia. He finds a gate that is open and takes a picture to show how clever he is for knowing where the mine is. Well done, Mick. After helping Mick refocus, Mick gets back in his car and then Mick drives away slowly. Again. Would he find a campsite this time? Yes. Mick has found a place called Store Point. It is enchanting. It has a very nice hut, very nice river, very nice grass. There are even some strange patterns that Mick finds on his car that he couldn't explain. Would his family and friends like to stay at this campsite? No. For some reason, Mick and Kel decide that this campsite just doesn't feel right either. So they get in the car and poor Mick drives away slowly. Again. While driving, Mick tells stories of when he used to come up this way as a child. He knows everything about this area. You would think he would have a better idea of where he wants to camp then, wouldn't you? Silly Mick. To everybody's surprise, Mick doesn't get sidetracked while driving this time, and he finds another hut where he could stay. This one is called Lloyd's hut, and it has a very cool tree in it, a steep hill, and something called Bob's Burgers. Will this be the place where Mick, Kel and the girls stay for the night? No! Mick thinks this place is better suited to pea-plating rednecks who play country and western music too loud while other people are trying to sleep. Oh well, time to keep looking. Sad Mick drives away slowly. Again, what will he find this time? Well, of course it isn't a camping spot. This time Mick finds a place called the Morning Star and Crinoline Walk. Walk, says Jamie from the Offroad Rookies when he pulls up and gets out of his beat-up Nissan Pathfinder. What the hell do you mean by walk? This is because Jamie is a lazy fat sloth who gets chafing just from getting out of bed. It will be fun, said Mick and Kel. Jamie says something very rude in return. After half an hour of puffing, sweating and swearing, Jamie has walked around 500 metres and gives up all hope of survival. Bicky, his friendly pup, starts looking quite edible. Mick, Kel and Eliza from the Offroad Rookies skip merrily further along the track. The two girls, who were the smartest of them all, stayed back at the cars and put their feet in the river. Clever girls. After praying to Satan for strength, Jamie catches up with the rest of the crew and they reach the Thompson water wheel. It is a big, rusty wheel brought there in the early 1900s. Jamie fears it will give him tetanus, but still thinks it is a better option than walking back. After Jamie finishes complaining, they all walk back to the cars. Everybody climbs in their cars and sweaty Mick drives away slowly. Again. Surely we must be close, says Jamie. Have a look over there, somebody else says. What could it be? Is it a campground? No! It is a lot of big, deep holes in the ground. These are old mines that people dug a long time ago to find gold when they were eating a lot and blowing their own heads off. Everybody gets out of the cars and walks around the holes, wondering if there are dead bodies in them, but not saying it out loud. Jamie dares Mick to stand on one of the protective grates to see if it holds his weight. Mick is tempted by the challenge, but does not do it. Jamie feels bad that his plan to end the day early has failed. Once everybody has had enough time to look at where dirt used to be, lucky Mick drives off slowly. Again, surely they will reach a campground this time, right? No! This time it is a simple rock wall that distracts them. It has smooth lines and rough lines, then smooth lines and rough lines, then smooth lines and rough lines. That is actually pretty cool, thinks Jamie, who has become more interested in geological structures since he found geodes in the Adelaide Offroad Rookies episode. Feel free to click a link. With enthusiasm fading, Mick drives away, slowly, again. Not far down the road, Mick suddenly steers his Ranger down a track to the right and it leads, ooh, this might be an exciting part, to a beautiful hut with lots of parking, amenities, and even an amazing river. Mick and Kel and the girls get out of their car excitedly. Jamie, Eliza and Bicky get out of their car excitedly. Everybody looks very happy. They all walk around and find that this is the perfect place for them to camp. Scenery, water to swim in, no other campers, even a nice smelling toilet. It is perfect. Jamie is very impressed with the camping grounds at Goonan's hut and wishes he had brought his camping gear to stay the night as well. He even thinks that the tree near the hut is funny. As the Offroad Rookies prepare to say goodbye to Mick, Kel and the girls, Mick asks Kel if she is happy with the campsite. What do you think she said? The water is a little far away. Maybe we could try going a little further. At this point, Mick and Jamie look at each other knowingly. Are you sure, babe? Asks Mick. Remember, he is very kind. I do like it, says Kel. But maybe we should try just one more and then come back in the next campsite is no good. But somebody might take this campsite, says Mick. They look at each other silently for a moment. Who do you think got their preference? It was Kel, of course. She's only little, but her two assets trump Mick's one. Dejected Mick drove away slowly. Again. Aww. Not too far down the road, Mick turns to the right again. This time, he drives into a big, open campsite called O'Toole's Campground. It is very impressive and has lots of areas that have been well spaced with fences between them, so people don't crowd you and piss you off at night. Mick parks his car under some dangerous gum trees that are blowing in the breeze and threatening to drop limbs at any moment. But he doesn't care. He is very carefree like that. Everybody gets out of the cars and check the river. It is very shallow and looks like it is breeding mosquitoes, but Kel and the girls think it is lovely. The girls then go and check out the toilets and any local talent before returning to let Mick and Kel know that the toilets smell nice here too. The time has come for Mick to ask Kel the question, do you like it here or should we go back to Goonan's? Kel responds and says, I like it here, babe, but we can go back to Goonan's if you want. The tension is palpable. That means you can touch it, which you actually can't, making that sentence pretty stupid really. Mick does a deep swallow and says to Kel, can you guess what Mick said to Kel? Let's find out, shall we? You guessed it. It's okay. We can stay here if you prefer. Everybody laughs and Kel lives happily ever after.